In a situation like this one, when we're told to factor a polynomial completely, I mean, if it were a quadratic, we would want to factor it into two binomials. But first, what we want to do always is look for a greatest common factor. And the best way to describe a greatest common factor is if we break this all down and write it all out as its prime factors. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write this out as 11 times 2 times x. I'm going to draw all 7 of these out. I'm going to try to make it really visual for you. And then I'm going to do 11 times 3, and then all 3 x's. The greatest common factor is going to be what do these have in common. So they both have an 11. This one has a 2, that one has a 3, so that's not in common. And then they both have 1, 2, 3 x's in common, because the one on the right doesn't have more than 3, and the one on the left has at least 3. So my greatest common factor between these is 11x to the third power. Now, if I factor that out, what I'm going to be left with is everything that we didn't just circle and take out. So 2x to the fourth minus 3. That's what it looks like to factor a polynomial completely. So we took out our greatest common factor. There's nothing else we can do. Now, writing it out every time can be pretty tedious, especially if the numbers are not as simple as 22 and 33. So what I'd like you to get familiar doing is looking at the two numbers and asking yourself, what are they both divisible by? 22 and 33, hopefully you'd look at those and be like, 11 goes into both of those evenly. So I would know to divide by 11. And then between the two of them, one has 7 x's and one has only 3. You can only take 3 out from both of them, and it's going to end up being a subtraction problem. When we say x to the 7th over x to the 3rd, if I'm taking that out, it ends up being subtraction because of exactly why here. When I divide by x to the 3rd, it's basically subtracting the powers. And so this would be our solution. Hopefully you can get to where you don't have to write out the prime factors, but understand that's always an option. You can always take out that skill so that you can have success on this Cougar path.